we are witnessing Russia's special military operation against Ukraine, and because of that, we are seeing widespread devastation across Ukrainian cities, especially eastern Ukrainian cities. Most of the eastern Ukrainian cities has been devastated because of indiscriminate bombardment from Russian side. Russia has already showed its military power to the world by capturing whole Luhansk and Donbas region. Europe lost its corridor to Azov Sea. Russia is continuously threatening Europe of nuclear Armageddon. More than 6 million Ukrainians fled from their homeland. After seeing all this, Lithuanian decisions to block Russian cargo to the Russian isolated exclave Kaliningrad had added fuel to the fire. And Russia has reacted furiously. Nikolai Paskov, a former KGB, who is now the secretary of the Russia's Security Council, added that it would respond in such a way that the citizens of NATO and the European Union would feel the pain. Russia's relation with West already touched its nadir. After Russia's February 24 invasion of Ukraine, now Lithuanian authorities announced they would ban goods subject to the EU sanction from passing through their territory to Kaliningrad. EU's sanction against Russia has come into effect from June 17. According to Lithuania, it was done with consultation from European Commission and under European Commission guidelines. The EU has echoed the Lithuania statement, saying that the country just implementing sanction imposed by EU as a result of Russian invasion of Ukraine. The sanctions list includes coal, metal, construction material and advanced technology. The restriction expected to affect roughly 50% of cargo flow between exclave and the rest of the Russia. The road traffic to the Kaliningrad already take hit because of EU sanction. After Kremlin's threat, European Union has become ready to review Kaliningrad blockade. The European Union is now not seeking to impose blockade on Russia's Kaliningrad region. The European Union will review its sanctions guideline to avoid blockade traffic into and out of the exclave. These are the words from EU's top diplomat Joseph Borrell. Now the question is, why EU has agreed to review their decision? The European Union agreed to review because Europe and the world cannot afford another conflict in that region. The region is already facing acute inflation. UK's inflation rate is 9.1%, which is 40 years high. The UK's railway workers are demanding pay hike because of inflation and they declared 3-day railway strike. Germany, Austria, almost all the countries became the victim of this conflict. The protests are happening in every cities of Europe against the price hike and energy crisis. In Belgium, the peoples are protesting against the government non-responsive behavior against inflation, and they are also asking for inflation relief. The United States has become the victim of their own sanctions. Per gallon gas price in US is hitting almost $7. The goods are become scarce because of supply chain crisis. So another conflict will push this world into an unending recession cycle. Now we are all eager to know why I am saying Kaliningrad as exclave. You know, India has 28 states and 8 union territories. Similarly, Russia have 85 oblasts. The oblast simply means states in Russian language. So Kaliningrad is an oblast, and it is the westernmost oblast of Russia. This region is not within the main Russian mainland. It is outside of the Russia and sandwiched between Poland and Lithuania. Its population just over 1 million and occupy 15,000 square kilometers of land, which is equal to the size of Timor-Leste. Kaliningrad strangely located 300 kilometers west of Russian mainland. Next question is, why does Russia own this patch of the land, and should not it be the part of the neighboring country? City that is known as Kaliningrad has a contentious past. From most of its history, it was inhabited by the Prussian Germans and was known by its German name Königsberg. But it was also familiar to the Poles, which called it Krolwis. Previously, the region was the part of the German territory. This region was known as Germany's East Prussian region. Now it is the part of the Russia after World War II. The Second World War was fought between 1st September 1939 and 2nd September 1945. The Allied forces that was consist of US, UK and USSR fought against Axis forces led by Germany, Italy and Japan. Germany was a key antagonist in the war. After invading Western and Eastern Europe, they captured large patches of Eastern Europe that includes Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Belarus, Ukraine and large part of eastern Russia. German soldiers systematically killed millions of people, including Jewish. The Germany's Nazi party took control of countries one by one, reaching the height of its power in 1942. But after 1942, because of the Germany's wrong strategy, US and the Soviet army gained upper hand against Nazi armies. Red Army captured Germany's east occupation one by one. Stalin's army of 1.5 million Soviet troops invaded Kaliningrad territory during the bloody East Prussian offensive between 13 January 1945 to 25 April 1945. Battle saw 25,000 civilians killed. The victorious Soviet Union took control of the city and expelled 25 million Germans across the surrounding region. In July and August 1945, shortly after Germany's fall to Soviet, British and the American forces, the leaders of the Allies met at the Potsdam, a suburb of Berlin. During the Potsdam Agreement, the Kaliningrad region was transferred to the USSR by then US, UK and the other allies. On 3rd September 1946, Königsberg was renamed Kaliningrad after Soviet Mikhail Kalinin. Russia quickly developed Kaliningrad into a closed military zone, which became important during the Cold War. Kaliningrad is very important to Russia because it is home to the Russia's Baltic headquarters and Baltic force. Kaliningrad's geographic location provides Russian military advantage over the other Baltic states. Kaliningrad is Russia's one of the most important port because it is a warm water port and Russia's naval shipyard building facility. Kaliningrad Baltic fleet consists of 40 ships. Russia have also deployed S-400 and S-500 missile systems over there. Not only that, Russia have also deployed Iskander nuclear missile systems in Kaliningrad. It has also deployed hypersonic missiles over there. So, you can understand the importance of Russian Kaliningrad Oblast. If Lithuania will block the Russian railway supply to Kaliningrad, then Russia will definitely show its anger against it. Because alternative route is very lengthy and it is through the Baltic water. Russia still can send its goods to Kaliningrad through Baltic using St. Petersburg port. But this could cost Russia more for its logistic. For Russia, it would be expensive. Now Russia do not want to go for expensive export. Because of Western sanction, Russia's inflation rate is already all-time high and foreign companies have already left Russia. So it leads us to our today's last question. And the question is EU concerned about the recent development? Yes, they are very concerned about Russian threats and the new development because of the Lithuanian transport ban. The Europe knows there is a little rhyme or reason for much that the Putin does these days. One of the great fears has been a Russian attack across what is known as Suwalki Gap. The Suwalki Gap is the 50-mile strip of Polish and the Lithuanian borderland. The gap lies between Kaliningrad in the west and Kremlin-friendly Belarus to the east. Another Russian invasion across Suwalki Gap would cut off Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia from the rest of the NATO and the European Union countries. If Russia could do that, then whole Baltic Ocean would be compromised. So in my view, things again hits up in Europe after Ukraine. According to me, Lithuania should handle their own matter of their own. They should not follow the footsteps of Ukraine. If they will follow Ukraine, then that would cause another catastrophe. There won't be another NATO and the US for them like the US and the NATO did in case of Ukraine. The world do not want another world war because another world war means total annihilation. It is known fact that this world war will be totally nuclear war and no corner of the world cannot be isolated from the nuclear spillover. So Lithuania have to handle this matter carefully, showing true maturity to its own protection against belligerent Russia. They have to think that they are standing alone and they have to take the decision diligently to avoid any kind of conflict with Russia. Now the questions. The first question is, how many countries share boundary with Baltic Sea? The first option is 9, second is 7, third is 10, fourth is 8. Second question is, which of the following is the Lithuanian Baltic port? The first option is port of Klaipėda. The second option is port of Laipėja. The third option is port of Tallinn. The fourth option is port of Rama. So if you have any questions regarding this topic or any other topic, then please send me your request or any kind of questions to my email address, which is tuhin.pawar.academy@gmail.com. I hope you have found this topic informative. So this is the end of the topic. Thank you very much. Thank you for your support.